I hate to say it, but I think the Boruto anime series might have a problem. Now, I apologize in this video if my voice sounds a little messed up. I would think I'm kind of catching a cold, so I apologize. I have a bit of a sore throat, but I'm gonna try to get through this video. So, I wanted to talk about this on Wednesday, but I didn't really have the time to do so. I think Boruto might have a problem. Now, here's the thing. I think some of you guys, judging off of the title of this video, might expect me to kind of talk a lot about how this show is really getting too far into the filler. We're getting way too many filler episodes. We want to get to the tuning exams and to all the good stuff, to all the nitty gritty stuff. And I can understand that. My issue with this show really isn't with the filler. I've said this in the past, or I feel like I've said this in the past, that I actually liked a lot of the filler episodes. I think, especially in the beginning, it allowed a lot of the background characters to really get center stage and allow a lot of the characters to get fleshed out, and it also allowed the audience, us as the audience, to kind of really get a feel for how these characters live their day-to-day lives. And it did kind of give us a chance to catch up on a lot of these older characters from the last generation, Naruto's generation. It got us, it gave us a chance to kind of see what these different characters are up to now. Like in the previous, like in this, I believe this week's episode or last week's episode, we got to see Rock Lee and Kiba on the television at one point. We got to see Asuna's daughter at one point. In I think it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, the episode 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I basically have caught up to all the Boruto episodes this week. I just watched the last 3 or 4 episodes, and it's not like I'm just noticing this trend, but it's just starting to kind of annoy me because the way they've done this certain thing that they always do in these last few episodes, they've done it. So I don't want to say they've done this poorly, because I feel like the main problem is this show is just like it's too formulaic. Like every episode, every week, I'm thinking in the back of my head, what lesson is Boruto and the gang gonna learn today? And it's mainly Boruto learning a lesson, but it might also be different characters learning a lesson at the end of the day. And basically every episode is Boruto learning a lesson or a different character learning a lesson, and it's very formulaic. The reason why I say it's very formulaic, because I'll give a few instances, because in the first episode, within all these episodes, it's usually Boruto first meeting somebody for the first time and learning that his situation or his feelings, mainly toward his father, and the way he feels like he's kind of living in Naruto's shadow. He's kind of seeing that, okay, these people are kind of dealing with what I'm dealing with at this point, or they have the same sort of issue that I have. And what the show does is they try to have foil characters. They try to have characters that have a sort of parallel to Boruto's situation. So like you can say with, for example, Kagura, he was kind of living in Yagura's shadow. He didn't want to be like his grandfather, and Boruto kind of picked up on that. Like Boruto is kind of saying, okay, I don't want to live in Naruto, in my father's shadow, because he's like the Hokage and everything. I want people to see me for me, and I don't give a crap what my father's doing. I'm gonna forge my own path, and that's kind of the same sort of situation that Kagura's in once we meet him in the show. And so like the show makes a big point of trying to show you that, okay, there's these parallels between these characters, right? And they did the same thing with Denki and a few other characters when we first met them and everything. But my thing with these last 3 episodes, especially the episode where the new Team 7 goes on their first mission, and they meet the village leader that has requested help from the Hidden Leaf Village. My issue with that, there comes a time where the show really does become very, very heavy-handed in their message of, okay, you're like this character that we're getting introduced to, this village leader. She's going through the same thing Boruto's going through. And it comes to a point at within the second episode where Sarda even notices that Boruto is kind of thinking, and she even points out that Boruto is kind of thinking about the fact that, okay, him and this girl is in kind of like the same situation where they are kind of living in the shadows of their fathers, and they're trying to either for this girl, she's trying to kind of do the opposite of what Boruto wants to do. She wants to live up to her father's legacy because her father, I guess, spoilers for last week's episode. Either last week's episode or a week before that, but spoilers. Her father ended up dying. They ended up killing her father because they wanted one of the villagers wanted the deed to the bridge, but she wanted to live up to her father's legacy as like the village leader, whereas Boruto doesn't even want to kind of live up to his father's legacy. And they kind of showed the parallel between that scene, within the scene. And Sarada basically picks up on the fact that Boruto's he's thinking hardly on the fact that, okay, this character is just like me. This girl is just like me. And like I said, I think like the main problem with Boruto is that it's getting very, very formulaic. It's not only that it's formulaic. It's just the way that they're trying to kind of point out these kind of differences between these characters. I mean, we get it. We get it at this point. We get that Boruto kind of has an issue with his father and everything. And this might just be a kind of a minor issue. This might have not even been worth the video, but I just felt like I kind of had to kind of speak on it right now, because honestly, that's really the biggest problem I have with this show. I mean, there are some people that might have issues where this show does a little bit too much exposition, but I'm kind of okay with it most of the time, because for the most part, the animation is great. When we get fighting scenes and stuff, it feels like we're watching Naruto. It feels like we're watching Naruto Part 1, where Naruto was like a kid. Naruto, Sasuke, everybody was a kid. They were still getting and stuff. It feels like that. It feels a lot more of that, and it feels like a lot of the battles and stuff is very creative and stuff. And like I said, animation isn't even a problem. Like all the issues that Dragon Ball Super has, this show somehow avoids it, and it really feels like it is kind of necessary. I mean, I'm definitely loving this show so far. We're only like 43 episodes in. I just kind of wish it would kind of pick up the pace a little bit. I mean, I understand that we got these filler episodes to get through, and like I said, I don't have an issue with the filler. Let me know if you have an issue with all this filler. But I feel like the filler is kind of necessary at certain points. I feel like, especially that filler arc with Kagura, that was really, really good. I feel like that was really, really good. And there might be some other filler episodes that were really good. And also that episode with Mitsuki and talking about Mitsuki's past and everything. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about Boruto so far. Are you liking the show and everything? What do you think are some of Boruto the animated series? Well, I don't even know why I said animated series. Anime series. Boruto Next Generations. Let me know what you guys think about it. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. This has been a Negro Shotty. I'm out of here. Peace.